The sun beat down on Coney Island. The air buzzed with excitement. It was the annual hot dog eating contest. A day of gluttony, a day of cheers. It became a day of death. 5 souls lost. Stomachs filled with fatal quantities of processed meat. A dark stain on the boardwalk. The crowd, initially boisterous, fell silent. A hush descended as ambulances, sirens blaring, arrived. The aftermath, a scene of shock and disbelief. How could a simple contest, a beloved tradition, turn so horrific? The Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. A legendary event that has become synonymous with the 4th of July celebrations in America. A staple of the 4th of July, an American tradition. Every year, thousands gathered. Families, friends and tourists from all over the country flocked to Coney Island to witness this extraordinary spectacle. The air buzzed with excitement and anticipation. They came to watch competitive eaters cram their maws. These athletes, if you could call them that, had trained rigorously for this moment. The crowd cheered, gasped and sometimes even cringed as they watched the contestants devour hot dog after hot dog. The spectacle was mesmerizing, grotesque, captivating. Contestants trained for months. They followed strict regimens, practicing their techniques and pushing their limits. It was a test of endurance, speed, and sheer willpower. They stretched their stomachs to unnatural limits. Through a combination of diet, exercise, and sometimes even extreme measures, they prepared their bodies for the ultimate challenge. It was a grueling process, but for these competitors, it was all worth it. They pushed their bodies to the brink, all for the glory, the sweat, the exhaustion, the pain. It was all part of the journey. Each contestant had their own story, their own reason for being there, but they all shared one common goal: victory. All for a shot at the mustard yellow belt. This coveted prize symbolized not just victory, but the pinnacle of competitive eating. It was a badge of honor, a testament to their dedication and skill. This year, the competition was fierce. The stakes were high. Newcomers and veterans alike brought their A game, each one determined to outdo the other. The atmosphere was electric, the tension palpable, but no one could have predicted the deadly outcome. In a shocking turn of events, the contest took a tragic twist. Emergency services rushed in and the festive mood turned somber. It was a stark reminder of the risks involved in this extreme sport. The crowd, once jubilant, now stood in stunned silence, grappling with the reality of what had just unfolded. The contest began with the usual fanfare. MC's voice boomed. Contestants hunched over their tables, a symphony of chewing and grunting. Then it happened. One contestant slumped over, clutching his chest, then another and another. Panic surged through the crowd. Medics rushed the stage. The scene was pure chaos. 5 contestants, their bodies pushed beyond their limits, succumbed. They died from cardiac arrest, their systems overwhelmed. A tragedy born of excess. The human stomach, while remarkably adaptable, has its limits. Competitive eating pushes those limits to the extreme. The sheer volume of food consumed at an unnatural pace puts immense stress on the body. The stomach, stretched beyond capacity, can rupture. The digestive system goes haywire. The body struggles to process the onslaught of sodium, fat and nitrates. The heart races, blood pressure spikes. It's a recipe for disaster. It's a disaster waiting to happen, Dr. David Metz, a gastroenterologist specializing in eating disorders, had warned. The risks are enormous: choking, esophageal rupture, even cardiac arrest. His warnings, along with those of countless other medical professionals, had gone unheeded. The allure of spectacle, the draw of competition, drowned out the voices of reason. Now 5 lives were lost, a tragic reminder of the dangers of ignoring expert advice. This wasn't the first time competitive eating had turned fatal. Across the globe, similar incidents had occurred: choking deaths, stomach ruptures, yet the contests continued. The lessons went unlearned. Was it a lack of awareness or a willful disregard for human safety? Perhaps a toxic mix of both. Whatever the reason, one thing was clear: the pursuit of glory, the thrill of the spectacle, had come at a devastating cost. The Coney Island tragedy sent shockwaves through the nation. Calls for regulation, for oversight, echoed from coast to coast. Lawmakers debated, Medical professionals voiced their concerns. Some argued for an outright ban on competitive eating, deeming it too dangerous. Others proposed stricter rules, mandatory medical screenings, and on-site medical personnel. The debate raged on, a somber reminder of the 5 lives lost. Why are we so drawn to these displays of gluttony? Is it the thrill of competition, the vicarious pleasure of indulging in excess, or is it something darker, a reflection of our own societal relationship with food and consumption? These questions lingered in the air, heavy and unanswered. The hot dog eating contest, once a symbol of summertime fun, now stood as a stark reminder of the dark side of entertainment. Section 9. The psychology of competitive eating. Competitive eating is a fascinating and somewhat perplexing phenomenon that has garnered significant attention in recent years. From hot dog eating contests to pie eating challenges, these events draw large crowds and enthusiastic participants. But what drives individuals to partake in such extreme activities? Psychologists suggest that competitive eating might be a form of pica, an eating disorder characterized by the consumption of non-nutritive substances. This theory posits that the act of consuming vast amounts of food, often with little regard for taste or nutritional value, could be driven by underlying psychological factors. These factors might include a desire for attention, a need to prove oneself, or even a form of escapism from daily stresses. The act of consuming large quantities of food, regardless of taste or nutritional value, could be driven by underlying psychological factors. For some, the thrill of competition and the adrenaline rush that comes with it can be highly addictive. The sense of accomplishment and the accolades received from winning can provide a temporary boost in self-esteem and a sense of purpose. Others argue that it's a primal instinct, a throwback to our hunter-gatherer ancestors who gorged themselves when food was plentiful. In times of scarcity, our ancestors had to eat as much as possible when food was available to survive. This instinctual behavior may still be present in our modern-day psyche, manifesting in the form of competitive eating. Whatever the explanation, one thing is certain. The drive to consume, to push the limits of human capacity, can have dangerous consequences. The physical toll on the body can be severe, leading to issues such as stomach ruptures, choking, and other medical emergencies. Additionally, the psychological impact of such extreme behavior can be profound, potentially leading to long-term mental health issues. As we continue to explore the psychology of competitive eating, it is crucial to understand the motivations behind it and the potential risks involved. By doing so, we can better support those who participate in these events and ensure their safety and well-being. Section 10. The high cost of gluttony. The Coney Island tragedy served as a stark reminder of the high cost of gluttony. 5 lives lost in pursuit of a fleeting moment of fame. A tradition tarnished, a nation left grappling with questions of responsibility and the ethics of entertainment. The victims, their faces forever etched in the annals of tragedy, became symbols of a culture obsessed with excess. Their deaths, a sobering reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of heeding expert warnings. Section 11. In the aftermath of tragedy. In the wake of the tragedy, Coney Island felt different. The laughter was gone, replaced by a somber silence. The boardwalk, once a place of joy and celebration, now held a palpable sense of loss. The future of the hot dog eating contest remained uncertain. Would it continue, albeit with stricter regulations? Or would it be relegated to the history books, a cautionary tale of unchecked ambition? Section 12. A call for change, honoring the victims. In the wake of the tragedy, the nation came together to honor the lives lost and to reflect on the events that led to such a devastating outcome. The memorial service was a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of community in times of sorrow. As the nation mourned the loss of 5 lives, one thing was clear: change was necessary. The outpouring of grief was matched by a collective resolve to ensure that such a tragedy would never happen again. People from all walks of life gathered to pay their respects, holding candles and laying flowers at the memorial site. The sense of unity was palpable as everyone shared in the sorrow and the determination to make a difference. The Coney Island tragedy had exposed the dangers of unchecked competitive eating. What was once seen as harmless fun had now revealed its darker side. The event, which had drawn crowds for years, was now under intense scrutiny. The footage of the contest, juxtaposed with the emergency response, highlighted the stark reality of the situation. It was a sobering reminder that even the most seemingly innocuous activities could have dire consequences if not properly regulated. It was a wake-up call, a call for stricter regulations, for increased awareness, for a re-evaluation of our priorities. The community rallied together, demanding change. Petitions were signed, meetings with officials were held, and the push for new regulations gained momentum. The tragedy had sparked a movement, one that sought to balance the thrill of competition with the need for safety and responsibility. The victims, in their untimely demise, had inadvertently sparked a national conversation. Their faces, now etched in the collective memory of the nation, served as a powerful reminder of the human cost of negligence. Family members holding photos of their loved ones became the voices of the movement, sharing their stories and advocating for change. The memorial wall, adorned with names and tributes, stood as a testament to their lives and the impact they had on the world. A conversation about the ethics of entertainment, the importance of listening to expert advice, and the true cost of our obsession with excess. The media played a crucial role in this dialogue, with debates and panel discussions bringing the issue to the forefront. Experts from various fields weighed in, offering insights and solutions. The tragedy had opened a Pandora's box of questions about the nature of entertainment and the responsibilities of those who organize and participate in such events. Their legacy, forever intertwined with tragedy, would hopefully serve as a catalyst for change, ensuring that such a senseless loss of life would never happen again. The memorials, the tributes, and the ongoing conversations all pointed to a future where safety and humanity are prioritized. As people reflected at the memorial site, there was a sense of hope that the lessons learned from this tragedy would lead to a better, safer world. The victims' legacy was not just one of loss, but of a powerful call to action, a reminder that we must always strive to protect and cherish life.